So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you guys to our guest, Tania, today. We're so excited to have you. I came across your profile and I thought it's so interesting how you ended up working in cloud engineering. So, I'm not going to give any spoilers, so we would love to hear a little bit about your background. And then I'll ask you some questions so we can kind of unpack how you ended up where you are today.
Well, thank you first of all for having me on this. I was very pleasantly surprised when I got the invitation, so that was quite lovely to see. So to start off as an introduction, so my name is Tania Mahmoud. I am a cloud DevOps engineer. In regards to my background, I did a degree in mechanical engineering with a foundation year as well. Then did a graduate scheme for 2 years at the current company, and then ended up taking on a role in cloud DevOps. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you know what? One of the things, my background is also engineering, but currently I work in sales. So I always find it really interesting how people start off with engineering and then like diverse into so many other career paths. So I was quite curious to know, like, how did you, or why did you start with mechanical and then sort of divert it into cloud engineering? Because although they are both engineering, but it's very different. So yeah, well, that would be quite.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It is quite different. So just in regards to how I started out, physics is something that I've always really enjoyed from a very young age, and then being competitive with my brothers is just something where I've always strived to do and apply in everywhere else in life.
Yeah.
So with physics being one of my favorite subjects, and then being told that STEM isn't for women, or in regards to engineering is not for women, is something that I've been trying to fight for quite a while. So when it came to actually applying to university, I was a bit unsure. So engineering, the term engineering was familiar to me, and then I knew that it's something I'd be interested in. But there
Yeah.
was something else I was interested in as well, which was psychology.
Mm.
So obviously having done A-level physics and then A-level psychology, it's like those areas, those subjects I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate enough during sixth form to be participating in a scheme called Nuffield Science Bursary. I mean, at least it was called that back then. So it's like a 6-week funded project where you get paid to do a research project either at the university or at a company. But because we applied so quite late and got taken on so late, we decided to do it independently ourselves in our school. So the project was basically to look at how we could use algae to create biofuel.
Okay. Wow.
But before getting to that stage, the initiative or the project itself was more specifically to look at like how can we grow at the optimum, like as much as possible of algae, basically by testing against different factors and categories, etc.
Yeah.
So that was like a bit like learning about like plants and learning about like how it could be used for biofuel. And biofuel is a term that wasn't very familiar to me at that time either. But either way, what it meant after 6 weeks, the project had such amazing outcomes that we were selected by Imperial College to then represent the UK in America
Wow. That's amazing.
at a international competition called Ice Sweep.
Mm.
And we beat out 68 countries to win a gold medal for the environmental category for the
Wow.
project we did. So obviously being at sixth form and being undecided between a engineering degree and a psychology degree, but
Yeah.
having done that project, oh my goodness, it opened up my eyes up to so much more.
Yeah.
And about learning about how we can harvest our own plants in the world, like especially algae that can be like is
Mm.
abundantly grown in different cases, etc. And you could like make it use and turn into biofuel, which can aid into global warming and help with the carbon footprint and vice versa. And that made me feel like, okay, that's something I want to definitely do. So psychology was out of the topic at that point.
Yeah.
And so then I basically started looking at the different engineering discipline, and mechanical engineering is something that really resonated with me because mechanical engineer, you can go into the oil and gas industry.
Yeah.
So it doesn't limit you, but it also allows you to learn about like aerospace engineering as well, or as well as like electronic engineering. So it doesn't limit you. It's more generic, I would say.
Mm.
So that's what made me pick mechanical engineering at university. And
Yeah.
obviously, not having done maths A level, I had to do a foundation year as well,
Okay. Yeah.
which I think was a good decision for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't really keen on maths before, but I kind of
You
was
got used to
taught
it.
to learn into it, like, appreciate it eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they went to university, did the foundation year, and then I basically decided to do a year in industry placement alongside it.
Yeah.
Ended up at a company, worked in a manufacturing company for a year, and then they offered me a final year project.
Yeah.
So the final year project was looking at like how we can detect defects in composite panels before it gets manufactured to reduce cost and waste, vice versa.
Yeah.
But there was this opportunity to expand or like make the project more robust, which was like an opportunity to do some programming to improve the image. And
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea about programming. I've not learned about it. I mean, it's not part of my degree. I mean, do I need to know about this? So it really opened my eyes up again. So I had like the light bulb moment, like I
Mhm.
did with that project before, and I was like,